Hey there, welcome to or welcome back to Okie Outdoor Adventures. Today I wanted to talk with you about the brand new HALO HFX series casting rods. I've picked up a couple of these, I've been out on the water a few times, so I wanted to share my first impressions and feedback based off of my experience. Now, coming in at a price tag of $149, they're that mid-tier offering, right? You've got some less expensive offerings, you've got some more expensive offerings. This is kind of that sweet spot where you know that you're getting a good quality piece of equipment and you're not really breaking the bank. So first and foremost, I want to talk with you about the aesthetics, and then we'll move into some of the nitty gritty. So from an aesthetic perspective, I have to say that these rods are absolutely beautiful. The metallic red stitching in the blank absolutely pops in the sunlight. I don't even know if that matters to most people, but there's something about having equipment that looks good, right? I think the old saying is look good, feel good. So the HFX series definitely has you covered in that regard. A little bit of background about the rods. They use the high quality Japanese Toray blank. They use an EVA handle style system with a 4-finger grip. And on that grip, you can see that exposed blank in the back of the reel seat. That's phenomenal for being able to detect those little bites, those tinks, the smaller, less subtle bites. So being able to have your finger on that blank and really feel that, to me, is a game changer. Now, I'm not a big fan of the EVA handles. I prefer cork, but these feel really nice in the hand. They're contoured, so it's not just a straight single, like I'm not even sure how to explain that really. It fits the contour of your hand very nicely. And then of course the butt comes down and is not overly bulky and is big enough that you can kind of feel that when you're resting it on your side or in the crook of your elbow. So they utilize a stainless steel or a stainless eyelet with zirconia inserts. So you know that you're getting that protection when you're throwing that heavy braid, right? Something about the way braid sounds, or about how the braid sounds when it's coming through those eyes, can drive you crazy. I've thrown braid on this. I don't have any issues with that. You're going to get a little bit of what I'll call braid scratch, but it's still not bad. Primarily throwing fluorocarbon on these, and I have to tell you, the sensitivity, again, is just absolutely out of this world. Now, I did want to talk very quickly about power ratings. Most fishermen know this, but for those of you that don't, every rod manufacturer basically makes up their own power ratings, right? There's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no standardized chart that says that medium heavy is this parabolic level comparatively. I don't know what that chart even looks like. I can't pretend to tell you whether or not it exists or doesn't, but I can tell you that power ratings are different for every manufacturer. I've got rods behind me on the left and right that are the same power as these, the same length, and they feel totally different. So a medium heavy in the HFX series, to me, leans a little bit more to that medium type feel. You can really feel the action of your bait, which is great. And you have, again, I'm going to keep keying on that word, sensitivity, right? You can feel those bites. The heavy offerings, which I have in the KS2 and the XD3 Pro, or XD3 Pro. I butchered that. The XD3. I've got those in heavy, and while they're sensitive, they definitely have the backbone that you would expect from a heavy offering. So I'm using one of them for I'm using one of them for topwater fishing, and then I'm using one of them for my Texas rig setup. Don't ask me why I'm throwing Texas rigs on heavy. It's just how I feel. I want to be able to pierce the roof of those fish's mouth. We could spend all day talking about that. The key point that I want to make is that from my experience with HALO fishing, heavy truly is heavy, medium heavy. It falls where you might expect it, where I've had situations in the past with other manufacturers where a heavy was more of a magnum heavy, almost a broomstick, and where a medium heavy was more of a heavy. So it's a really delicate balance. I know that it all depends on the blank, all depends on the manufacturer, so I'm not trying to disparage anyone, but I will tell you that the power ratings are very close to what they are represented as. So medium heavy, heavy, medium, whatever that may be. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to purchase one of these. Now, overall impressions from an on-the-water perspective. We went out Saturday, Friday, Sunday. I don't remember what day it was. One day last week, and fished in some pretty high wind. So I had no issues with casting. Nice, I guess, whip is how I will describe it. It's more that parabolic action that everybody wants to see, that rod bend, right? No issues handling any of that. We're going back to sensitivity one more time. Maybe we'll play a game, and somebody could tell me how many times I said sensitivity. We'll figure out some way for me to send you a scum frog or something like that. But overall, I was very impressed. The biggest fish of the day for me was a 4.5, maybe 5 pounder that I boat flipped on my medium heavy. The the line broke once I got the fish in the boat, but she came up with no issues. I never felt like the rod was in jeopardy. Now, I personally don't do a lot of boat flipping. I prefer to use the net or just reach down and grab my fish because I don't catch enough big fish to be willing to justify losing one trying to boat flip it. That's a whole nother story. Steve's going to give me a hard time about that. That's the boat flipping master. But I've got a couple of these, and I've got a couple more on the way, so I'm excited to transition my arsenal to the Halo fishing series, both the HFX, the KS2, the XD, and hopefully at some point the TI series, which that one's currently it's on my bucket list, but I haven't had the opportunity to fish with those yet. So, first impressions, absolutely love them. I give them a 5 out of 5. If there was anything that I could complain about, it's just the EVA, but that's really not a big deal. It's just more of a preference thing. So, if you guys have ever fished with Halo Fishing, drop a note in the comments below. Let me know what series rod that you're fishing with, what you think of the HFX series, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my very best to answer those, or we can engage with the American Baitworks team and get you the answers that you guys need to make an informed decision. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not currently a subscriber, and we'll catch you next time on the water.